Good afternoon. Please be seated. Please be seated. I'd like to welcome all of you to the 11th annual commencement ceremony of the University of Medicine and Health Sciences. And although this is our 11th official annual ceremony, this is actually the 13th graduating class. COVID-19 made in-person graduations impossible for 2 years, and now we're glad that we're back and able to do this live and in real time so you can really appreciate the beauty of the moment. So I just want to extend all of our greetings. I'm Dr. George Shade, and I've had the privilege to serve as the Dean of Clinical Sciences and the Chief of Obstetrics and Gynecology for UMHS for a number of years. But at this time, I would like to introduce the other members of the faculty and dignitaries on the stage. We have President Warren Ross. We have the Provost and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. David Graham. We have members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. John Dope, Dr. James Williams, and Dr. Thomas Last. We also have the Associate Professor of Molecular Sciences, Dr. Craig Eric. We have a man who wears many, many hats. He's Director of Introduction to Clinical Medicine, Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Department Chair, Course Director, and Professor of Preclinical Medicine, Dr. Mohan Kumar. We have the Associate Dean of Clinical Sciences, Dr. Donna Thompson. And our clinical chairs who are present today are Dr. Khalid Zakaria, Chief of Internal Medicine, Dr. Elizabeth Morgan, Chief of Surgery, Dr. Stephen Kaplan, Chief of Pediatrics, and Dr. Robert Levine, Chief of Family Medicine. And our keynote speaker for the day will be the Chief of Medicine at the Detroit Medical Center, Huron Valley Sinai Hospital, and also the Program Director of Internal Medicine Residency at the DMC Huron Valley Sinai Hospital, Dr. Jeet Pillay. Candidates, once again, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I would like to welcome you to the UMHS family. I would just like to make a few remarks to you on this very special day in your life, because I know right at this moment the emotions are at an all-time high as you fully comprehend the importance of this moment. After years of hopes and dreams, hard work and sacrifice, often living apart from family and friends, all of this has finally paid off, and you are here today to receive your university degree as a Doctor of Medicine. From this day forward, you will have the prefix of the letters DR or the suffix of the letters MD as a part of your name and identity. These titles are called honorifics because that is exactly what they are intended to do. Bestow honor upon the person who has earned that distinction. What I want to talk to you about today are two different titles that you've encountered in your path through life, that of preceptor and mentor. Whether or not these can be considered honorifics as well will depend exactly on what each represents. Now, while most of you in general consider them to be one and the same, I assure you they are not. Both imply one who teaches, but the level of commitment is tremendously different. Let me give you a little historical perspective about one of these titles. Those of you who recall reading or hearing of the Greek epic poem, The Odyssey, by Homer, will remember that it is the tale of a great king and warrior named Odysseus, or more commonly known as Ulysses. It chronicles his many adventures, trials, and travels during the Trojan Wars. But there is a very important part of this tale that people often overlook or fail to appreciate. When Odysseus left to fight in the war, he not only left behind his wife and queen, Penelope, but also a very young son, Telemachus. Odysseus had no idea how long the wars would last or whether or not he would even return home to ever see them alive again. There was so much that his son would need to learn in order to grow into a strong, confident man and someday rule as the king of Ithaca. Odysseus knew that he would need the love, protection, tutelage of someone he could trust as a surrogate father to Telemachus. And so he turned to his dearest and most trusted friend in life, a man by the name of Mentor. This was to make sure that his son would grow and prosper even in his absence. So even though in today's world, the terms mentor and preceptor are used interchangeably with respect to commonalities of particular curricular and institutional goals, they have defining features that make them quite different. The role of mentor is a relationship based upon mutual trust and respect. The mentor provides the mentee with a sense of safety and belonging. He or she provides guidance and direction, helps develop and foster self-confidence, and helps to instill the values that the mentee will need to develop professionally. All of this is done without any concern for financial or personal gain. So in a similar way, your parents have entrusted the administration and faculty of UMHS with your safety and well-being during your time away from them. But being a mentor does have its rewards. Serving as a mentor can provide one with a great sense of pride and gratification. Quite often, the mentor's interest and passion for his or her profession is renewed and reignited by the enthusiasm and inquisitiveness displayed by his or her students and the other young professionals with whom they work. Mentoring relationships tend to be very long-term commitments that can persist sometimes for several years. They continuously evolve to meet the mentee's changing needs, even after the graduation from the university. Now, unlike the mentor-mentee relationship, the preceptor-student interaction is prearranged, and neither the student nor the preceptor chooses each other. The commitment is short-term, with most rotations lasting only 4 to 6 weeks. Most often, financial compensation is the basis for such a relationship. Once the student completes the rotation, the interaction with the preceptor ceases. Students gain knowledge to become better physicians, and the preceptors get to enjoy teaching and the opportunity to earn additional income. After a while, you as students and graduates will forget the names of most of your preceptors, and vice versa. But your mentors will be remembered for the rest of your life. Why? Because your mentors, just as it was with Odysseus and Telemachus, is more than just a teacher. He or she is a dear and trusted friend who you will always know did everything humanly possible to guide you safely through your journey toward becoming a better doctor and a better person. As you leave this graduation ceremony as new medical doctors, keep this one thought in mind. During your residency training and subsequent professional life, you will interact with young, frightened, inquisitive medical students, interns, and residents exactly as you once were yourselves. Be a mentor. Be a dear and trusted friend to them. Guide and instruct them with your words and by your deeds so that they can grow in knowledge, self-confidence, and professionalism as you have done over these past 4 years. This is the circle of life for us who have dedicated ourselves to the profession of medicine and an academic career in medical education. And so, in closing, you have my most heartfelt congratulations, my deepest respect for all you have accomplished, and my greatest wish that you love and enjoy your profession. It is my hope that one day each of you will personally better understand and enjoy being bestowed with the honorific title of mentor, and that you will wear it as proudly as you do the other honorific titles of doctor and MD that you are awarded today. So once again, congratulations. Many years ago, and more recently, Dr. Robert Ross, and later Dr. Ross and his son, Warren Ross Esquire, planted 2 trees, purely on an act of faith that one day these trees would blossom and produce a really remarkable fruit that everyone could be proud of. Those trees were Ross University and the University of Medicine and Health Sciences. And that magnificent fruit that those schools produce are you, the graduates of these institutions. So it is my honor to bring to the podium President Warren Ross, Esquire.
Wow, congratulations. Woohoo! Woo! 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 Your hard work and dedication has finally paid off, and you've achieved your dream of becoming a physician. We celebrate today your accomplishments and wish you well in the next phase of your journey. It's been a very challenging and difficult 3 years for the UMHS community. When the pandemic hit back in 2020, most of you transitioned into an online program, then a hybrid, and then back to boots on the ground. Medical school is hard enough under normal circumstances. It gets significantly harder when students have to adjust and adapt to an online or hybrid option. That said, students were able to continue with their education with little to no disruption in their academic program. We continued to provide students with a quality education during the pandemic, kept our community safe, and provided our students with the resources necessary to succeed. We are so proud of each and every one of you. No matter what obstacle was thrown your way, no matter how hard things got, you never gave up. You never gave up the dream, and your dream is about to be realized. Once again, congratulations to all of you. At this time, I'd like the entire audience to recognize what a huge accomplishment this is for our graduates, and would like all of us to give them a hearty congratulations and a job well done. I know it hasn't been easy, but in the face of adversity, under the toughest of conditions, you have prevailed. Hard work, motivation, determination, and sacrifice. And these were not mere words for you. These are the values by which you have lived, and they are the same values which will sustain you in your profession. I also want to recognize another group here today, the family and friends that supported you throughout your academic career. So at this point, I'd like all the graduates to stand up and recognize their family and friends and give them a big round of applause. I am so proud of you. In many ways, I really think of you all as my family. As the 13th graduating class, you took a leap of faith when you decided to attend UMHS. We were relatively new, but you put your faith in us. You kind of blindly jumped into the abyss, hoping and praying you made the right decision. So I only think it's appropriate to take you back in time to talk about the person who was instrumental in developing UMHS and the reason why we're all here today. As you know, my dad, Dr. Ross, was the founder of UMHS and Ross University. He's always been a student advocate who is willing to take action to correct injustices. In the 70s, much like today, there were over 40,000 applicants for 16,000 spots. Thousands of deserving and qualified applicants were denied entrance into U.S. medical schools. Dr. Ross believed that these students deserved an opportunity to pursue their dream. So in 1978, he established one of the first Caribbean medical schools, Ross University. And under his leadership and with the help of key administrators, staff, faculty, family, he created one of the most successful medical schools in the Caribbean at that time. In 2000, Dr. Ross sold Ross University. During his short-lived retirement, he continued to monitor the progress of Caribbean medical schools. In his views, schools were getting really too large. Many of them were accepting 400 to 600 students a semester. The focus had changed from a student model where academic excellence came first to a profit model where revenues became a driving force. Unfortunately, that doesn't always equate to a quality academic program. Student success was no longer the priority. So once again, my dad decided it was time to take action and offer students an alternative, the best education possible. But unlike the first school we started, we now had the resources, the experience, the knowledge, the ability to develop a premier medical school. Our goal was always to develop a small boutique medical school catering to the individual needs of our students, providing the highest quality education in state-of-the-art facilities comparable to the best medical schools in the United States. We successfully recruited highly qualified, experienced faculty and counselors and learning specialists that were dedicated to your success. We maintained small classes to ensure that students received a very intimate and personalized education. We wanted an environment where students always come first, that if you were accepted, we were morally obligated to do everything possible to make sure you were successful. Regardless of the issue, whether it was personal, financial, or academic, we were there to help support our students in every way possible. As a result of our efforts, we maintain one of the lowest attrition rates in the Caribbean, presently 4%. Many of those schools in the Caribbean are seeing 30, 40, as high as 50% attrition. I remember when I met all of you guys the first time, I said to look to your left, look to your right, you're going to see that person at graduation. That's the type of school we are. We're here for you. To enhance the educational experience, every classroom and laboratory in St. Kitts was equipped with the latest audiovisual technology. We developed an anatomy lab, which was really a model for U.S. medical schools. We were the first Caribbean medical schools to be approved by the National Board of Medical Examiners for their online shelf examinations. These are the same exams students sit for at U.S. medical schools that ultimately prepare them to sit for USMLE Step 1. We're now offering shelf examinations both in the basic and clinical science program. To date, our students are performing exceptionally well on these examinations, which is a further testimony to the quality of our academic program. Concurrently with developing our basic science program, we also established a 5th semester in Maine. I think everyone here will agree that their experience in Maine was exceptional and helped them seamlessly transition into their clinical program in the United States and prepare them for USMLE Step 1. As part of the 5th semester, we integrated into the curriculum a Kaplan USMLE review program. UMHS is one of the first offshore medical schools to offer students a live review program with faculty from U.S. medical schools. Recently, there were some changes to the 5th semester. You guys might not even know this, but we grew it from a 6-week program to a 15-week program, and we integrated ICM into it, so it's a lot more clinical material than it was previously. We also, as a result of people like Zach and Kurt, they convinced me to purchase Amboss, so we went out and we acquired Amboss. And so now our students have full access starting in day one of medical school to both Amboss and the Kaplan program. Once again, we care about our students and wanted the best for them. We wanted everyone to do well on the USMLE and pass on their first attempt. And we succeeded as a result of a well-designed curriculum, dedicated faculty, integration of shelf examinations, great students, and a very thorough Kaplan and Amboss review program. After students pass Step 1 of the USMLE, they progress into the clinical program. At the present time, we're affiliated with 20 teaching hospitals located in New York, Connecticut, Maryland, Oklahoma, Michigan, Georgia, Canada, Florida, California, Puerto Rico, and we're still adding to the list. In their senior year, students sit for USMLE Step 2 after they successfully pass the MECCSE exam. We are proud to announce that currently we have a 93% pass rate on Step 2 for first-time test takers. That's a really great number. The university is now on a path of seeking its final state approval. There's only a handful of states that actually have the ability to approve a foreign medical school, and that's typically to allow the students to be able to be licensed there or to do their clinical rotations there. So we're approved in multiple states. Georgia is one of the states we're approved in. We're also approved in the state of Florida. Every year we have to resubmit an application. I go down, I meet with them. They generally have no questions. They love our program. So we continue to be approved in Georgia. We're also now approved in California. So in California, students are now eligible to do their clinicals there. They can be licensed there. They can do their residency there. And that wasn't the case prior to our approval. And we have graduates now who are doing residency in California, which is great. And we have an affiliation in California, hospital affiliation. Florida, we've had the approval since 2018. We have lots of graduates that are doing residencies in Florida. I just out of curiosity, how many people go into Florida for their residency? Woo! All right. Woo! So we're really doing well on the approvals with regards to the states. Once again, with each approval, both clinical and residency opportunities will expand and our reputation will continue to grow. In addition to being fully accredited by St. Kitts, we're also accredited by ACCM. This is an international accrediting body that is recognized by the U.S. Department of Education for having standards comparable and equivalent to accreditation standards in the United States. In fact, ACCM adopted the LCME standards of accreditation. LCME stands for the Liaison Committee of Medical Education, which is the accrediting body. I asked you guys that when we first met, and does anyone remember asking the question about who knows who LCME is? Maybe not. Once again, we've proven to the world how good we are and that in every way comparable to U.S. medical school. An enhanced reputation will pave the way for future graduates, and ensure their continued success. As further evidence to the quality of our academic program, over 90% of our first-time applicants obtained a residency in 2023. That's unbelievable. Congratulations. The university is experiencing a positive growth pattern, and let me assure you, we will continue to invest in the future. Over the last 3 years, we've aggressively been upgrading our campus. We replaced our entire network. We replaced all the cabling. We developed a whole new learning management system, making it much more secure, more robust, cloud-based, so that we could be technologically advanced and comparable in every way to a U.S. school. During the pandemic, we retained eThink to help us develop our learning management system. They are retained by major universities around the United States to develop their learning management system. So we believe it's very robust, very good, very fast, very secure, and we're happy with that. We continue to invest in our skills lab. When you were there, you may have utilized Harvey and iStan, but we're continuing to invest and purchase more and more simulators. And this year, we're scheduled to purchase SimMan 3D, which Dr. Kumar has been pressing me for a while, so we're happy to announce that too. So the next thing I'm probably about to tell you is you're probably going, why didn't you do that earlier? But in 2022, we constructed the Robert Ross pedestrian bridge, allowing students to avoid walking on the road. Dan Vitale, take a stand, please. He was instrumental in getting the bridge built so that students no longer could be on the road. We built a fully functioning gym on campus, which includes free weights, large variety of machines, and a full range of cardio. We're constantly upgrading the equipment in the campus. But I think the goal in the next year or two is that we want to build a standalone, unfortunately you guys aren't there, but we're going to probably build a standalone which will have a juice bar, lockers, spin room, and more. We'll take pictures, we'll send it to you. In addition to the gym, we also developed a new basketball court and soccer field. So we have many plans for expanding the university, including additional breakout rooms, faculty offices, as well as a student union. As you all know, our students did really well this year with the match, and I urge everyone to view our website for the listing of residency. What was the difference this year is that we had the largest group yet who actually matched and pre-matched, meaning that they didn't even go through the match. They were offered residencies at the hospitals that they were rotating in. That's not really the norm, but our students are so good and they were so well recognized that these hospitals offer them residencies, which is fantastic. Congratulations, guys. Unfortunately, my dad is no longer with us today, but his dream and vision will never die. He developed one of the first models for foreign medical schools, which is a template for all others to follow. But for him, none of us would be here today. I know he would have loved to have been here, and I believe he's looking down on all of us today, smiling with pride. With all that we have done in the last 15 years, I truly believe that we are one of the best offshore medical schools. Your accomplishments will be further testimonial to the quality of education at UMHS. We've established an alumni association and welcome all of you as our newest members. Further details about the Alumni Association can be found on our new alumni website, and it's still currently being developed. So the goal of the website will be to have things like a directory, searchable directory, so that you guys can continue to stay in touch with your fellow classmates. They're planning an alumni function in St. Kitts. It's our first reunion. So hopefully in the next year or two, and you'll all be invited to come down. And there's many more activities, and they'll be in touch with you. We urge you to go there, get your name on the portal, put your contact information so they can provide you with updates. And also, let us know what you're doing. We're now, getting a lot of information about how the prior graduates are doing, and so many have gone on for fellowships, have been chief residents, or in private practice, or they're currently working in a hospital. And we'd love to provide those stats to you. And they can continue to work and mentor with you, especially if you're pursuing fellowships in the future. So stay in touch, be in contact with them, and we welcome you to the Alumni Organization. In closing, congratulations, you're going to make great doctors. Thank you.
Thank you, President Ross, for those outstanding words. Next, I'd like to call to the podium a gentleman who's been very instrumental in moving UMHS ahead academically so that it's one of the strongest medical schools possible, and that is our Chief Academic Officer and Provost, Dr. David Graham. David.
Honored guests, President, deans, directors, faculty, staff, mums and dads, partners, husbands, friends, relatives, and most important, graduates. What a wonderful occasion this is. It is an honor and a privilege to be speaking to you today. As you can probably tell, I'm from the UK. I don't think I've got an accent. I was born in Carlisle, which is a small town in the northwest of England on the border with Scotland, and I went to medical school in Liverpool. I became a physician specializing in respiratory medicine and general internal medicine at a large teaching hospital just outside of Liverpool. I later moved into medical education and became the postgraduate dean for Merseyside, and later the dean of the medical school at the University of Liverpool. Now, I've been visiting St. Kitts for over 30 years, and in 2018, I became the Provost and Chief Academic Officer. And I would therefore like to add my personal congratulations to those of the President and Dr. Shade, and say to all graduates, very well done. You should be very proud of what you've accomplished, and on your behalf, I would now like to say thank you. We've done some of this already, but to a few other different people. Firstly, to those who supported you before and throughout medical school, your mums and dads, brothers and sisters, families, partners, friends, boyfriends and girlfriends. Thank you all, you guys. I would now like to say thank you to your teachers in the basic sciences, the 5th semester, the clinical program. I'm sure that you would like to thank them all. I'm also sure you'll have some teachers you will never forget, and most importantly, some role models for the future. I would also, on your behalf, like to thank the many staff, academic and non-academic, all of whom keep the show on the road. There would be no UMHS without them. So to all our faculty and staff, on behalf of our graduates, thank you all for your guidance, help, and support. As I speak, you are graduands. which is the term for those who are about to graduate. And in a few moments, you'll be presented to President Warren Ross, awarded your degree, and you become graduates of a very good medical school, the University of Medicine and Health Sciences, UMHS. More importantly, and at the same time, you will also become doctors. So, congratulations and welcome to the medical profession. It is an honor and a privilege to be a doctor. However, you must be aware that with that honor and privilege comes responsibility. In essence, on entering the medical profession, you must adopt and uphold the ideals and standards of the profession. At the same time, you must continue to learn and develop your skills and knowledge. You must be lifelong learners. Having graduated from medical school, you must take your knowledge and skills and continue to develop yourselves in your residency training programs as you learn to become practicing physicians looking after patients. If I could give one piece of advice, it is to remember that being a doctor is all about the patient. The patient must be your first priority. If ever there are difficult decisions to be made, and there may well be in the future, think to yourself, what would I do if this was my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother? Even in difficult situations, it will help you make the right decision. Give every patient your best and make the most of every patient encounter. Be both caring and careful and value attention to detail. Please remember, being a doctor is primarily and ultimately about the patient or patients. Once again, many congratulations. I wish you well in your new careers. Go and enjoy yourselves, and most importantly, be very good doctors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Graham, for those great words. Next, I'd like to call to the podium a gentleman who really does not need any introduction, Dr. Mohan Kumar.
I'm so happy to see all of you here. I know it has been many years, but still remember all these faces, except for those of you who might have come straight to Maine. The rest of the faces are so familiar, even though you look different today. I know now I'm still in charge of the program on the island, but I've moved to now Portland, Maine as the new program director. As the program has changed for the last 1 year, it has now been renamed or changed to Maine Integrated Program. So if you are passing by Portland, Maine, please visit the campus, and I can say hello to you guys again, right? So let me first congratulate all of you. And when I'm looking at this auditorium, I was reminded recently, I was watching the French Open Grand Slam tennis finals, and while Djokovic was speaking after receiving the trophy, I was just looking at his box. And today I'm looking at all these people, and I was reminded of what he spoke on that day after receiving his 23rd Grand Slam trophy, because I don't know how many of you know about Novak Djokovic, to bear with his tantrums while he achieved what he has achieved. And today I can definitely look at this, your loved ones in the auditorium, and I can imagine what they might have gone through for you to be sitting here today wearing this beautiful costume, right? I would like to congratulate not only you, but I would like to congratulate all those loved ones who have directly or indirectly helped you in achieving this, your dream or your MD degree. To speak on behalf of the Island faculty, I would like to say today we are all proud of you from what you have achieved and accomplished. I know some of you have already matched and you know what you want to do and what you want to work on. As Steve Jobs said, you got to find what you love. And that is true for your work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is a great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. I'm sure you have your passion, and when you know, your heart will know when you find that passion. I was just thinking, after listening to all the speakers, and I was wondering, what else can I say or share the wisdom in addition to what my earlier speakers were talking about? I was remembering my past colleague, when I moved to UMHS in 2011, there was one person in the campus. I don't know how many of you, know this person. His name was Negi Milik. He would always say, Mohan, you learn every day. And every time, we were sitting, whether it is in the lab or we are sitting in the cafeteria, he had a great eye for, picking up things and make observations. And then he would always say, he would ask me, what did you see? Because observation is very key, right, in your patient encounter. So I would say, none of us are perfect. We all do mistakes. But will you admit those mistakes when you go wrong? Will you take steps to correct them? Because for me, most importantly, when we do mistake, did we learn from it? So that's where I always remember Dr. Melek, because you learn every day till you die. That's how medicine goes. So I'm happy to also share some information that some of your graduates today, they came back to the island. They're trying to give back to the UMHS community. And I would like to welcome, any one of you who want to help out either in the basic science program or in the main, you can be mentors for our students who are, working hard to achieve what you have accomplished. So you can always share your wisdom. It could be, being mentoring our future students, our graduates, all right? So please contact me. My email has not changed. It's still the same. I wish you a great success in whatever you pursue in the future. And most importantly, I wish you will be more happy in what you do. Thank you.
Those were great words of love and wisdom from one of your true mentors. Thank you, Dr. Kumar. Next, Dr. Craig Airy will talk to you and impart some more wisdom. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. When I was asked to do this, my mind immediately went blank about anything that I could possibly say, because the magnitude of the day for you is not lost on me. What I decided is that I would share a couple of thoughts that perhaps I picked up along the way myself, since I sat in the chair like you. So, honored guests, friends, family, graduands. I'd like you to take a minute and look around. Look where you are. Go ahead. Okay, see the room that you're sitting in. See the people who are here with you. Okay, I want you to commit this to your memory, because memories are tricky things. These emotionally charged moments, you swear you're going to hold on to them forever. You swear they're going to be this sharp for the rest of your life, and that nothing will ever dull the shine that they have for you. But between the excitement, the nerves, the anticipation, this day might become a blur. And you kind of remember the feelings, but you don't remember the moments. So I ask you to take that small pause, look where you are, and give this memory a chance to take root. Because at some point you might not have believed you'd be here. Okay? What you have accomplished today is a hard road to walk. It has many lonely days. It has a lot of quiet hours in the middle of the night that nobody but you sees, and you wonder if you're ever going to get through them. The possibility may have seemed so remote, but I want you to look around and remember, because this room is a testament that you can do the impossible. It is with indescribable joy and with utmost gratitude for me to be here with you today. For many of us who start with you in St. Kitts, we don't always get to see this day. And so this now becomes one of my treasured memories. Know that I am speaking to you not just for myself, but for all of those faculty, those staff, those friends who are on the island, who cannot be here with you. But know that when I tell you that we are so very proud of you, it is from all of us. Sitting in those chairs, you represent a promise that they made, that they would do everything that they could to see that you got here. We cannot be more proud. There is no better day for a teacher than this. And it is a special privilege for me personally, because some of you are the first students that I ever taught at UMHS. Some of you are my first class. And I feel like in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, when his heart grows 3 sizes, except you've all been trained to know that that's cardiomegaly, and he really should have gotten that looked like, okay? So just pay attention. To be honest with you, I was really quite nervous about doing this because I don't feel like a words of wisdom kind of guy. It's kind of intimidating at a graduation. But I'm also a teacher, and not one of us has ever passed up a trapped audience. So here we are. You're about to assume some heady responsibilities, and it can be very overwhelming to think about them. In my mind, you have exactly one. Be the advocate. That is your job from here on out. For your patient, for your community, for your values. Being strong for yourself can be too much to ask on some days. Instead, be strong for others. Most importantly, remember, there were times in your life that you thought all hope was lost. Be the thing that you wished you found in that moment for others. Be inquisitive. Never stop trying, never stop learning, and never stop growing. You have achieved mighty things, and now we're turning you loose in the world. Be a sponge. Soak up new ideas, new perspectives, and new knowledge. You never know when that Jeopardy clue that you trot out to sound smart at parties might just save the day. And when a doctor graduates, we say that they have begun their practice. And we all know that means the performance of their duties. But do not forget what else practice means: to continually improve by repetition. Every day is an opportunity for you to improve. Learn from your successes and from your failures. About a year after I started teaching at UMHS, I was sitting in Dr. Mungley's office, just kind of chatting with him. And I told him that I felt bad, that it took me longer to feel comfortable teaching my classes than I ever expected. I was an experienced teacher when I got to UMHS, and yet it still took me what felt like a year to find my feet. And I said I felt like those first students didn't get the best experience from me. Sorry, yo. He told me that's what life is. You can't go back. You can't apologize for things that are back in time. You learned more. You're better than you were then. You're more experienced. You found better ways to do something. You have to channel that feeling into what comes next. You have to channel that growth into the next patient who comes in. He probably doesn't remember that conversation, but I do, because it landed with me. Sometimes you're going to fall on your face. That's okay. How do you think we learned about gravity? But because we learned about gravity, now we can fly, and that's what you will do. Most importantly, remember kindness and practice it. We are, the lot of us, fallible and fragile. You will practice kindness for others, and you will forgive them their faults. Forgive your own as well. Lastly, and most importantly, say yes. Everything I ever needed to know in life, I learned from Star Trek. Seek out new life and new civilizations. Go boldly. Say yes to experience, to possibility, to change. Be bold, be irreverent. Be too big for your britches. Be challenged and be challenging. I rarely ended up where I expected that I would be, and I've hopped the globe from a small island in the North Atlantic to the deserts of the Middle East, to the Great Wall of China, to a nice little tropical island that I'd never heard of before I got there. My mom is a nurse, my dad is a teacher, and the two jobs that I swore that I would never have. The first job I ever took was teaching nurses. Saying yes means that you will often end up someplace you didn't intend, but most often where you needed to be. So I will close by asking you to reflect and to remember. Remember the first time you put the white coat on. One of us might have done it for you. You felt joy, you felt anxiety, you felt uncertainty, you felt the overwhelming potential of a life that is not yet written. And today we're going to put something new on you, and you're going to start a new journey. So remember that past and use it to help shape your future. Be the advocate, be inquisitive, be kind, and be bold. We are so very proud of you, and we cannot wait to see how you change the world. Thank you.
Well, it is my honor to bring on the next person. I don't know how many people, I just out of curiosity, how many people rotated through Huron Valley? Anybody here? Okay, well, a few people probably know you then. The keynote speaker, Dr. G. Pillay, is a very highly accomplished physician, educator, innovator in the field of medicine. Jeet and I go back many, many years ago. He's a graduate of Ross University. I was always on that campus. We met, and so I've known him a very long time. Dr. Pillay's academic journey began with a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Windsor in Ontario, Canada. He then pursued a master's degree at Wayne State in Detroit, Michigan. In 1999, he obtained his medical degree from Ross University. Following his passion for internal medicine, he completed his residency at Pinnacle Health System in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Dr. Pillay's leadership capabilities became evident as he became the youngest person to be elected Chief of Medicine at the DMC Huron Valley. His dedication to medical education led him to become the Program Director of Internal Medicine Residency Program. Under his guidance, the program flourished and grew to include 24 residents. A passionate educator, Dr. Pillay has been involved in teaching and education throughout his career. His dedication has earned him numerous teaching awards from esteemed institutions. Currently, he serves as a Director of Medical Education for UMHS at DMC. Not only does he provide opportunities and outstanding clinical experience, but he has offered residency programs to many of our students. So, thank you very much for everything that you've done for us. Dr. Pillay's dedication to advancing medical knowledge is evident through his involvement in academic and clinical research and quality improvement projects. He has presented his work at both state and national conferences, contributing to collective knowledge of the medical community. In recognition of his exceptional contributions, Dr. Pillay has been honored with the prestigious status of Fellow of the American College of Physicians. Furthermore, he has been recognized in Michigan's top doc list, solidifying his reputation as an esteemed physician. Dr. G. Pillay's career is a testament to the unwavering commitment to providing excellent patient care, advancing medical education, and driving innovations in the field of medicine. His achievements, leadership roles, and dedication to the well-being of patients and the medical community make him a highly respected and accomplished healthcare professional. It is my honor to present the keynote speaker, Dr. Jeet Pillay.
All right, congratulations to graduates, families, UMHS faculty, and administration. And graduates, welcome to the most amazing and fun profession in the world. President Ross, thank you for this invitation. It's an honor and a privilege to share this special occasion with you. He already did the whole introduction, but I'll repeat some of it. The DMC, we're one of the biggest academic training centers in the world. We have over 1,100 residents and fellows. So I'm the chief of medicine at one of our 8 hospitals and the program director of the medicine residency program. I'm also a clinical professor at Michigan State University and Wayne State University Medical Schools, and I have a private practice. My favorite role is being the proud father of 2 sons that are here with me today. And everything I'm going to say to you today is from the perspective of one of these hats. I first met Warren Ross 28 years ago when I was a student at the school his father founded. We were actually stuck at the Miami airport in a lightning storm, and I got to know him then. And I can tell you from my interactions with him over the years, he is a kind person that cares. And when the person at the top has those characteristics, the whole organization does. And I think that's why UMHS and its graduates stand out. On June 1st, 1999, I was sitting exactly where you guys are, actually just down the road at Carnegie Hall. Our commencement speaker that night was the freshman, newly elected Senator Chuck Schumer. It was a surreal evening. And backstage, if you take a look at those folders, we were told prior to walking out that if your folder was empty, it meant there was a problem with your file. Mine was empty, of course. Turned out there were some evals missing. Here's a shocker. So some real-time advice: if your folder's empty, don't leave the city without that diploma. All right, but that's what this journey is all about: overcoming, improvising, adapting, enduring, but ultimately succeeding. I know what it took for you guys to get here. Like you, I had the pleasure to experience many interesting things that my friends in med schools back home missed out on. Stuff like giant centipedes, flying cockroaches, palmetto bugs, dengue mosquitoes, insane price gouging, hurricanes, losing phone, power, and water every other day. I'm sure you guys lost your Wi-Fi. And the only thing we needed more than food was bug spray and batteries. During clinicals, I was essentially living out of a car for 2 years, moving 9 times to 9 different cities, sometimes not knowing where the next rotation was going to be or the next city until the day before. But those were great times. My rotation experiences were at outstanding institutions. It was an invaluable opportunity for me to learn from different experts and perspectives. And to this day, every day, I still benefit from the knowledge and the skills I gained during that period. And I cherish the friendships I formed with my colleagues and mentors. One thing I remember about the Caribbean, I'm sure you guys will know this, there's a lot of pessimism and a lot of negativity. A lot of people telling you, oh, that's never gonna happen, you can't get this specialty or that one, your dreams will be impossible. Well, my experience tells a different story. You're now in the midst of what I refer to as your 10-year run of peak productivity. Right now, you're able to do things physically, mentally, and emotionally that will be hard to repeat later in life, so make the most of this. And here's my example. In early 1995, I was done with grad school and waiting to hear from med schools. Unemployed and uncertain. So I got a job at a GM factory where I lived. I had to wear a hazmat suit and an N95 and climb a tall, scary ladder up to the ceiling, like about as tall as this. Get into the HVAC and scrub down the interiors. That was the job. And getting down was even scarier. By 2005, 10 years later, I'd completed medical school, residency, passed 4 sets of boards, was married, had 2 kids, started a private practice, and was an attending physician teaching students and residents. So, but of course, 15 years later, I was back in a hazmat suit and an N95 going into COVID rooms. So I guess I went full circle. But so here you are at this exciting juncture with a well-deserved sense of accomplishment. I wish I could tell you it gets easier from here, but I can't. Your next stage is much harder. Up till now, your whole life has been all about you, everything. Getting the grades to get into undergrad, getting the grades in undergrad to get into med school, the MCATs, the steps, the match, all of it. Come July 1st, 2 weeks from tomorrow, it's like a light switch. It goes from all about you to all about the patient. That's why you went into this profession, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Yet, this concept is hard for some to grasp. Remember this, residency is not school. You're not paying to be there. It's a job, and you guys are going to be paid to perform certain duties. You will face challenges that will test you to your limits. Check your egos at the door because you're going to get a ton of feedback. And you need to focus on the message, not on how it's delivered. You will make mistakes, but you will learn from them, and you won't be alone. Your co-residents will become like family to you, and you'll have lots of support that you can count on them to have your back. So don't be afraid of this next stage. Embrace it with confidence and curiosity. The job of a resident is unique. The real value, it's not the paycheck, it's the knowledge and skills that you will learn that will translate into a long and rewarding career. That career will allow you to positively impact many, many lives. And that career will also put you in the top 2% of income earners, which, given the loan some of you guys have, is a good place to be. The good news is that you've just proven that you have what it takes to do this. The U.S. Navy SEALs have a saying that they took from the ancient Greeks: under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your training. That's never more true than in medicine. The path you've taken has been a humbling one. That humility makes you stronger. The obstacles you have overcome has taught you resiliency. You have developed a strong work ethic and a fierce determination. Add all this up, and you now have a competitive advantage. Trust me, this will take you far. My program took our first non-US graduate in 2016, and 2 years later, we took our first UMHS grad. That person just completed an ID fellowship at Penn State University. The next UMHS grad we took is now a second-year nephrology fellow at Cleveland Clinic. And our next chief resident for this upcoming academic year is a UMHS grad. So I can tell you guys with absolute certainty, you're well-trained. And recognizing this, as Dr. Warren Ross said, we established a formal training relationship with your school and the DMC, and this has been a very successful endeavor. Now, you guys are graduating into a very different world than even 5 years ago. Medicine has changed quite a bit. It has a role to play on Main Street, on Wall Street, in the US, and globally. Things are changing rapidly with new breakthroughs, new threats, and challenges. Doctors are doing things they've never done before. They have a big role to play in climate change. Doctors treat people and help people, all people, by being aware of social determinants of health. Doctors have led the charge here and abroad for the underserved to gain access to health care. Groups like Physicians for Human Rights and Doctors Without Borders have worked tirelessly in conflict zones to bring treatment to those facing humanitarian crises and crimes. The United Nations has highlighted the important role doctors can play globally in attaining the Sustainable Development Goals. Some of you will go into clinical practice, some of you will become educators, some of you to go into research, some will join the pharmaceutical or medical device industries, some will take government jobs or go into healthcare administration. This is just some of the limitless opportunities you guys are going to have. When I left med school, I had no idea what was in store. I pictured the old Norman Rockwell picture, just being in a room with a stethoscope listening to heart sounds. Little did I know that I'd be on CNN with my co-residents treating and advocating for an asylum-seeking whistleblower from Chernobyl that was dying from radiation poisoning. I never imagined working in the Louisville VA, where I'd have the privilege to care for America's finest, veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm. If you saw the movie Saving Private Ryan in the opening scene, there's Americans going up blowing up a German bunker. One of those people in real life ended up being a patient of mine. He was a Congressional Medal of Honor winner. Patients will enrich your lives more than you can imagine. Never did I imagine a global pandemic where doctors around the world would join together, step up, and be on the front lines. And when that happened, I turned to an old friend of mine from med school, who just happened to be the VP of a major pharmaceutical company, manufacturing one of the first drugs with success against COVID. He helped me get that drug and bring it to our hospital and our community, and that friendship saved countless lives. Today, the ground is shifting beneath us. The world we have been accustomed to as physicians is changing and will never go back. Accordingly, we, meaning you, must change, and you're all going to have to be a major part of that. Nurse practitioners and PAs are gaining the ability to practice autonomously, actually calling themselves doctors now. So are optometrists, pharmacists, and many others are expanding their scope of practice into what traditionally was a doctor's role. Tennessee just passed a law allowing foreign-trained doctors to practice in the US without residency training. Why is this happening? Well, in some cases it was due to physician shortages, but there is one concerning reason to consider. Perhaps we took our patients for granted just a little bit. There's a saying, patients don't care how much you know until they know how much they care. Remember that. Private equity, Wall Street, and others are altering the traditional doctor-patient relationship. Everyone now wants a piece of the pie. And if somebody hears this, Doc, you focus on taking care of the patients and let us handle the rest of it for you, that's the equivalent of saying shut up and dribble. If you hear that, watch your back. And now there's AI. AI can read an MRI, interpret sounds from a stethoscope, read EKGs, identify rashes. You can even use ChatGPT to do your medical billing. And it can all be done from 1,000 miles away. So we must raise our game. We must be aware. We must be actively involved when and where decision-making occurs. If we don't, others will decide for us. One of my best friends is a doctor in Miami. He has a saying, if you're either sitting at the table or you are on the menu. That's true. So here's some final messages for you guys. Your goal for residency should be to make the absolute most of every day. It's not what you're taught, it's what you learn. Number 2, take care of yourselves and enjoy this career. Burnout is at an all-time high, as is dissatisfaction in the field. And these are hot topics. Some of the causes for that is attributed to lack of mastery, autonomy, and purpose. But doctors today are spending more time than ever on charting and clerical tasks that take them away from the bedside, which is why we went into this in the first place. Next, people are going to approach you with very tempting get-rich-quick schemes. Unless you want to be in the news, avoid these. Something I've already said, this profession absolutely needs you guys to be leaders. Next, as doctors, as somebody's already said tonight, when in doubt, do what's best for the patient. Be their advocate, and you'll always be right. Number 6, you may dress nicer, you may have more money, you may have a better car, you may be better educated than your patient, but you are never better than them. 7, value and cherish the bonds and the friendships you make during these years. They're going to carry you forever. And the last thing, something I say to all my residents, even my kids, find something you love to do and go be the best at it. Personally, I don't feel I've worked a single day since July 1st, 1999. Every day when I go to bed, I'm looking forward to get up the next day to get to work, so I have trouble falling asleep. And I tease my kids when I'm out the door every morning, you guys have school all day, and I have recess all day. Robert Ross gave me the opportunity to achieve my dreams. Warren Ross has given you that opportunity, and you have seized it. You've become doctors. Now go out there, become physicians, and make the world a better place. Thank you.
Mr. Mariner from the admissions office would like to make some remarks to the students.
Take a breath. It's real. This is real. And I say, on behalf of the admissions team at the University of Medicine and Health Sciences, also well known as UMHS St. Kitts, we say welcome. And we say, bienvenido, Puerto Rico. UMHS has seen you. They have seen you. We have seen you. Either on the phone when you first contacted UMHS, maybe at a webinar, on a webinar. Maybe we saw you at a conference at your school or in the city. But we saw you. And when you applied to UMHS, we looked beyond the paper. We looked beyond what was on the computer. We saw you. We saw your son. We saw your daughter. And we saw potential. We saw their possible capability with our help. And that is what makes UMHS successful, because we want to reach who you are and see beyond to what you can go beyond. That's what we do in admissions. As you completed your application with us and you were interviewed, and then when you received the decision that you were accepted, when other medical schools, maybe you applied to them and they just looked the other way, or they sent you a denial. But at UMHS, you were offered a door of opportunity, and you walked through that door. And you walked through that door successfully thanks to the amazing campus, professors, and support along your way. Yes, receiving the acceptance was exciting, wasn't it? Think back on that day. Think how you felt when you received the acceptance. And then when you hung up the phone, you said you were excited, you were nervous, you were curious, you were anxious, and even scared to death. You probably hung up the phone after we spoke with you and you said, "What have I done? Oh my God, where am I going? What is this place, St. Kitts?" But you know, it was a wonderful journey, wasn't it? Now that you look back, you see the enrichment, you see the empowerment, you see the benefit and the advantages that we shared with you before you ever left, that this is a great journey and one that you can be proud of your accomplishment. Each of you have made personal sacrifices. In fact, almost all of you in this amazing building have made sacrifices for this journey. Graduates, you had to leave home. You had to leave your family. You had to leave your best friend. You had to leave your life partner. You had to leave your pets. You had to leave your boyfriend or girlfriend, which may or may not have been a good thing. Huge sacrifices. You missed birthdays. You missed anniversaries. You missed vacations with your family while you were studying. But now you see that it was worth all of those sacrifices. It's worth all of those sacrifices because that's what made you successful, by being able to be more focused. We are all proud of you, and especially in our admissions team, on behalf of the admissions team, which is led by our Vice President of Admissions, Marie McGillicuddy, we want to say congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Maynard. All that energy. Now the moment that you've been waiting for. We will now bestow degrees earned by the students of the School of Medicine as recommended by the faculty to the Board of Trustees. President Ross, will you please join me? President, I certify to you that each candidate presented on the official graduation list has completed all the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Medicine.
Therefore, in accordance with the will of the Board of Trustees, we are honored to bestow upon these candidates the degree of Doctor of Medicine. The candidates will now receive a diploma signifying the degree and all the dignities, rights, privileges, and protections belonging to it.
Okay, so now your moment of fame. We are now ready to proceed with the presentation of diplomas to the graduates of the School of Medicine. The hooding will be done by Dr. Mohan Komar and Dr. Craig Ari. Their name will be announced by Mr. Earl Maynor. Then one at a time, each student will cross the stage to receive his or her degree from President Ross. President Ross will offer a congratulatory handshake, and at which time a photograph will be taken. Dr. Elizabeth Morgan will then congratulate each student as they walk off the stage. Please do not enter the aisles during the ceremony, and thank you. Members of the 13th graduating class of the School of Medicine, please stand.
Dr. Zachary Thomas Van de Veer. Dr. Jonathan Cota Davila. Dr. Jamil Antonio Abu Al-Hossein Carmona. Dr. Ade Deura Adewora. Dr. Azin Aguiradu Aguinaldo. I'm sorry? Andrew Aguinaldo. Sorry. Dr. Emachita Ajarero. Dr. Jose David Alacia Rivera. Dr. Sarah Begaloon. Bingaloon, sorry, Dr. Bingaloon. Dr. Francisco Jesus Bermudez. Dr. Tevin Jamal Brown. Dr. Brian Calderon Barreto. Dr. Alexandra Isabel Calderon Landron. Dr. Natalia Canavero Lugo. Dr. Armando Cardona. Dr. Alejandro Carmona Casillas. Dr. Katie Lynn Carr. Dr. Catherine Cristel Carrero Martinez. Dr. Nicole Marie Carrillo Colon. Dr. Bianca Paola Centeno Rivera. Dr. Mackenzie Chamberlain. Dr. Juan Carlos Colon Garcia. Dr. Liana Carolina Cortes Nora. Dr. Nicole E. Cortines Colon. Wanda Isuri Cubero Cruz. Dr. Ian Luis Cummins Ruiz. Charlene. Dr. Charlene Marie Cuyar Cruz. Dr. Basil Darwich. Dr. Genesis de Jesus Ramirez. Dr. Joyced Del Valle Martinez. Dr. Shepard Lee Drayton III. Dr. Madison Edwards. That's okay, yes. Dr. Chijiwioke Epioma Ele Kwazji. Dr. Marie Blanca Esquilin Marti. Dr. Wavell Farmer, Jr. Dr. Adrian S. Feliciano Muniz. Dr. Emily Ann Forster. Dr. Angel Luis Garcia Rodriguez. Dr. Valerie Villanette Garcia Villegas. Dr. Ceribel Guadalupe Hernandez. Katiushka Eileen Giuliani de Leon. Kishela Marie Hidalgo Vargas. Keishla, I'm sorry. Dr. Keishla Marie Hidalgo Vargas. Dr. Priscilla Marie Irizarry Vargas. Dr. Arpita Jamula. Dr. Ernst Jr. Joaquim. Dr. Anisha John Kennedy. Yulia Kungorova. Dr. Amy Elizabeth McKenzie. Dr. Jessica Nicole Masonet Llanos. Dr. Noel Enrique Maldonado del Pozo. Dr. Laura Maldonado Ferreira. Dr. Claudia Alejandra Manguel Suarez. Indrina Manguel Valadares. Dr. Christiane Urani Martel Rodriguez. Yes. Dr. Stephanie Martinez Garcia. Dr. Jesla Matos Chaparro. Dr. Lydia Lisa Matos Morales. Dr. Amanda Nicole McCrary. Dr. Carlos Mejia Arce. Dr. Astrid Carolina Melendez Perez. Dr. Edward Arthur Miller Vasquez. Dr. Stan Akumi Mokoko. Dr. Emmanuel Morales Monsanto. Dr. Bianca Liz Morales Pomalaza. Dr. Rachel Morales Reyes. Dr. Eva Esther Morel Ramirez. Dr. Rosana Nanette Morganti Salva. Dr. William Muniz Vasquez. Dr. Verna Marie Nazario Ayala. Dr. Eva Cristina Negron. Dr. Karen Nieves Gonzalez. Dr. Crystal Chizaram Obia Zuriki. Dr. Kendra Oyeyichi Obima. Dr. Rosea Celeste Ocasio Tapia. Dr. Evelyn N. Ogbamo. Dr. Yanni Oliva. Dr. Carlos Ortiz Jimenez. Dr. Joseph Ove. Dr. Marilyn L. Perez. Dr. Alberto Perez Boitrado. Dr. Marietta Alejandra Personini Ramirez. Dr. Pedro Pinheiro de Jesus. Dr. Zidnia Pinheiro Delgado. Dr. Jared Pope. Dr. Noel Peter Puthenvintel. Dr. Ernesto Quinones Gonzalez. Dr. Fiorella Rafucci Velasquez. Velasquez, sorry. Dr. Coral Andrea Ramos Ayala. Dr. Estefania Ramos Nieves. I'm sorry? Okay. Dr. Shimal Mohammed Rathor. Dr. Douglas Manuel Ernesto Rivera Augusto. Dr. Paola Sofia Rivera Bernaola. Dr. Eva Maria Rivera Melendez. Dr. Ricardo Rivera Muniz. Dr. Ana Gabriela Rivera Pagon. Dr. Eitza Maria Rivera Rodriguez. Dr. Laura Mercedes Rodriguez Davila. Dr. Giannina Maria Rodriguez Golderos. Dr. Ana Maria Rodriguez Lopez. Dr. Julio Dionel Rodriguez Velez. Dr. Eric Edgardo Romero Rodriguez. Dr. Astrid Rosario Riolano. Dr. Uman Salimi. Dr. Leanne Santana Pagan. Dr. Nihal Suthyidev. Dr. Colton B. Sellers. Dr. Jasleen Kaur Singh. Dr. Nicole Soto Maldonado. Dr. Jennifer Soto Perez. Dr. Blessing Stephen. Dr. Idelise Suarez Maldonado. Dr. Kirtiana Sigunath Devan. Dr. Sadar Hussain Sundi. Dr. Paola Torres Garcia. Dr. Maria Eugenia Torres Mate. Dr. Mai Awesome Tran. Dr. Vincent Nat Hui Tran. Dr. Glorima Urbino Roman. Dr. Sabrina Valentin Cardona. Dr. Kevin Velasquez Moreno. Dr. Juan Gabriel Velasquez. Dr. Giancarlo Velez Alvarado. Dr. Yvonne Marie Velez Serrano. Dr. Cynthia Joseph-Tufumi Olajumoki Lanipikan. Dr. Esperance Madera. Dr. Justine Josephine Vela. Dr. Carlos Adrian Villanueva Soto. Dr. Marie Frances Zamora Roman.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet. With all the remarkable achievements that are represented out in front in our graduating class, even among all these outstanding students, some of you distinguished yourselves among your colleagues. And at this time, I would like to announce those who are graduating with honors. Now, I've got a special request for all of you in the audience. I know your pride and your emotions are just swelling, they're about to explode. But if you have to, just put your hands together and hold them. Grab the side of your chair, or just put your hand to your throat and kind of squelch that need to scream. But each one of these students deserves to have their name heard by all. So wait until I've completed all the names and they've stood, and then just give one rip-roaring round of applause and cheers. Those receiving honors: Brian Calderin Barreto. Grab your chair, grab your chair. Ian Luis Cummings Ruiz. Emily Ann Forster. Jessica Nicole Masnet Llanos. Eva Esther Moral Ramirez. Karen Nieves Gonzalez. Corral Andrea Ramos Ayala. Estania Ramos Nieves. Lian Santana Pagan. Jessica Cristina Santiago Morales. Nicole Soto Maldonado. And Anne Marie Walker. Please stand, and now let it all go loose. Now, if you can just contain yourselves again, because there were some who not just achieved with honors, but achieved with high honors. And again, they all deserve to have their names heard by all. John Acevedo Ortiz. Aduara Aduale. Alejandro Camona Casillas. Amir Luis Carreras Dome. Charlene Marie Cura Cruz. Genesis Maria de Jesus Ramirez. Josid Del Valle Martinez. Gioco Obioma Elicuachi. Wavele Alexander Farmer Jr. Adrian Feliciano Muñez. Valerie Vianette Garcia Villegas. Arpita Jamalo. Ernst Jr. Joachim. Christine Urani Martel Rodriguez. Amanda Nicole McCrary. Edward Arthur Miller Vasquez. Rosera Celeste Ocasio Tapia. Moreta Alejandra Persina Ramirez. Pedro Pinheiro de Jesus. Zenidia Pinheiro Delgado. Gerard Colin Pope. Ernesto Quiones Gonzalez. Douglas Manuel Ernesto Rivera Augusto. Aixa Maria Rivera Rodriguez. Colton Sellers. Jocelyn Carr Singh. Jennifer Soto Perez. And Maria Eugenia Torres Mate. Please stand. And believe it or not, even with students who achieved honors and high honors, there were those in this class who thought that wasn't good enough. And so they have achieved the highest honors. And again, I know it's taxing all of your self-control. But please, hold it in until all their names are called, and then you can just break loose like there's no tomorrow, okay? Jamil Antonio Abu El Hussein Carmona, Andrew Azuren Agunado, Machita Samuel Ajero, Fatima Abdul Latif Aha Matos, Sarah Benguion, Jonathan Cotto Davila, I didn't hear that. Madison Edwards, Angel Manuel Gonzalez Rodriguez, Kendo Elizabeth Henson, Yulia Kungurova, Alexander Kovila, Cynthia Jestafumi Okajumoki Lanapunka, Francis Marie Lugo Jimenez, Amy Elizabeth McKenzie, Esperance Madera, Lideliesa Matos Morales, Bianca Liz Morales Pomalalza, Rosanna Nanette Morgante Salva, Evelyn Ogbomo, Carlos Ortiz Jimenez, Shimal Mohammed Rathore, Carmen Johanna Reyes Jimenez, Eva Marie Rivera Melendez, Ricardo Rivera Muniz, Laura Rodriguez Davila, Julio Dionel Rodriguez Velez, Eric Eduardo Romero Rodriguez, Nihal Satyeva, Kirtana Suganathan, Sadar Hassan Sunde, Mahu Yantran, Alexander Valde Feliciano, Zachary Thomas Vanderveer, Giancarlo Feliz Avellaro, Justine Joaquin Vela, Carlos Adrian Villanueva Soto, and Marie Frances Amor Ramon. Now please, go crazy.
Okay. Well, will all the graduates please stand? I think we did this already, but we're going to do it again. Will everyone please join me in giving all the new doctors a well-deserved round of applause? You can be seated. I'd like to call up not one valedictorian, but two valedictorians. This has never happened. I've been in academia for a long time, 40 some odd years. This is the first time I've ever had two valedictorians, ever. Just outstanding. So I'm calling Dr. Jonathan R. Cotto de Villa and Zachary Vanderveer. You can both come up for a second. So a few years back, we developed a scholarship in the name of Dr. William Thurman. Dr. Thurman was with me for many, many years. He was with us as the Dean and Provost at Ross University many years ago. He was with Oklahoma State University with the medical school. He's very well known. He was very well respected. He was an academician. He helped guide and develop both the Ross University and UMHS. So we wanted to develop a scholarship in his name when he passed. The scholarship is awarded to exemplary students who demonstrated academic excellence during their clinical semesters. In recognition of graduating, students demonstrated the highest academic achievements. Scholars will be granted an annual award. So I am presenting to both of you a check for $2,500. Let's make sure I give it out to the right people. Oh, they want to take a picture. I'm going to get a picture with you guys. Okay. Okay, now you both have opportunity to speak, so you're going to speak first, and Zach is second.
Should have taken a beta blocker. Good afternoon, President Ross, faculty, staff, families, and fellow graduates. It is a great honor to be standing in front of you today. I have to be honest, weeks ago when I received the email about directing a speech at graduation, I quickly went to Dr. Nagapa's lecture notes to self-diagnose the type of arrhythmia I was feeling. Fortunately, it was benign. However, symptoms just returned 10 seconds ago. On a more serious note, I want to dedicate this speech to my beautiful wife, who is also graduating today. Claudia has witnessed all the phases of my life, and her companionship has been a vital part of my transition from a senior in high school to the valedictorian of my medical school class. Her selflessness, unconditional support, and willingness have nourished the path that led us both to be here today. Te amo, Clau. So during this 4-hour-long speech, I would like to share just 3 essential aspects that have led me to succeed not only through medical school, but have shaped me into the person I am today. Anatomically speaking, my family has been at the heart of everything I've been able to accomplish. Physiologically speaking, each of them has carried the function of either chronotropy, inotropy, or dromotropy to ensure the mean arterial pressure stays in check for a well-perfused system. In other words, the support and motivation granted by my family hugged me through both the best and worst of times. I want to start by thanking my mom, my dad, my younger brother, and my wife for being the supporting pillars I needed to be in front of you all today. They have been at the center of my motivation and are the primary reason I strive to become a better person daily. Winston Churchill once said, "There is no doubt that it is around the family and the home that all the greatest virtues are created, strengthened, and maintained." Mommy, Papi, Claudia, y Baby, wherever you are, I am eternally grateful for all the support and love, and I will continue to strive to make you guys proud. However, one has proved to be more important than family: God. He led me here today. Throughout my life, He has taught me that He's not closing off opportunities or aiming for you to fail when a door closes. He leads you to follow the light down the hallway because He has another door awaiting for you, filled with endless opportunities to thrive. God has been at the center of my core all along, and even in my busiest moments when I have not taken the time to look up to Him, He has never been too busy to look over me. The second point I want to address is discipline through failures. Graduates, we all have to be honest. We will fail at some point in our lives. We have to accept it. We will mess up and embarrass ourselves. It is inevitable. Now, I ask all of you, what will you do when you fail? What are you going to do after you have made adjustments and you continue to fail? Here's an easy answer. Keep trying. You will catch a break. Some of the most outstanding people talk about failure as part of the process toward achievement. Michael Jordan once said, "I have failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeeded." The Bible also speaks to perseverance through adversity. Corinthians 4:8-9 says, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Therefore, we do not lose heart." So, the discipline and the resiliency you have is what's going to define you in the end. My third and last point is about dreams. Dreams are power in thought. Having a dream home, a dream car, a dream watch, a dream exotic African tiger is good. However, it is the goals that you set for yourself that are going to fulfill those dreams. A great actor, Denzel Washington, once said, "Dreams without goals are just dreams, and ultimately they fuel disappointment." On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start. But without consistency, you'll never finish. So keep working, keep striving for your dreams. Never give up on them. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Because to get something you never had, you must do something you never did. I'll repeat it. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. So keep moving, keep growing, and keep learning. See you at rounds. Thank you.
Good afternoon, graduating class of 2023. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zach Vanderveer, and I could not be more proud to be standing up here along with Jonathan, addressing all of you in this room. UMHS has brought me to many opportunities that I think I would have never had going elsewhere, anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere else in the Caribbean. I am so honored to be speaking on behalf of these amazing physicians in this room, and before I begin, I'd first like to thank my parents for always believing in me and supporting me throughout this journey, and I'd also like to thank my siblings for always keeping me grounded and kindly reminding me that I am not as smart as I think I am, and that humility is important, of the utmost importance. Finally, I'd like to thank my girlfriend for continuing to push me over these last few years of medical school and embracing my crazy schedule. During my time between graduation and residency, I've had a lot of time to reflect on how far we have all come as students and physicians. I remember I remember preparing for the MCAT and saying, I'd be so happy when this is over and I get into medical school. Then a few months later, in St. Kitts, studying for my last block exam, saying, I'll be so happy when I'm in Portland, Maine, and having passed step 1. All the way to a few months ago saying, I'll be so happy once I match for residency. This profession will continue to ask us to seek one goal after another and always reach for the next milestone. We may rarely have opportunities to reflect and realize all that has been accomplished and how far we have all come. So the next time you have a lingering thought about being happy when you finish residency or being happy when all of your loans are paid off, which I think we all know it'll take a little bit for all of us, I challenge you to recognize the moment you are living in and don't let it pass you by. Enjoy your day-to-day. Embrace the chaos and remember you have put in countless hours to get where you are. Celebrate the journey and not just the destination. Finally, UMHS class of 2023, remember to not sweat the small things. Don't worry about the uncontrollable and let the simple things in life make you happy. Congratulations, fellow physicians, and I wish you well on your future endeavors.
Jonathan and Zachary, I just want to give you some words of advice. Hold on to those checks and enjoy them while you're in the auditorium, because when you leave, they will belong to your wife and your girlfriend. And now I will ask the graduates of our School of Medicine to recite the Hippocratic Oath. For those of you who would like to follow along, the oath is printed in the back of the program. We will recite the modernized version of an ancient oath. I ask that we keep in mind its significance. The oath was first administered by Hippocrates to remind those who bear the title physician that their fellows hold them in special esteem and bestow upon them a special sense of trust. So it still is today. Into your hands, your patients will place their most treasured possessions: health, happiness, and life itself, their own, and the health, happiness, and life of their loved ones. Jonathan and Zachary, will you join me up here, please? And any physicians in the audience who would like to recite the oath with us, please feel free to do so. I solemnly swear by all that I hold dear that I will carry out to the best of my ability and judgments the duties and responsibilities incumbent upon one who practices the profession of medicine. I will abstain from any act, either by omission or commission, that could harm those I serve, and never will I betray the confidence of those who place their trust in me. In order to best serve my patients, I commit myself to a lifetime of study so that I may stay fully current in the practice of my profession. With full understanding of the special place of trust physicians hold in the hearts and minds of their patients, I dedicate myself to the service of all who seek my care. Guests, please remain seated while the graduates march out. This concludes the 11th annual commencement ceremony program. Our celebration is unique this year. It's being sent live stream and will continue into the lobby, so please join us there. Graduates, congratulations. Doctors, please stand. Please.
Zach Vanderveer, and I matched in Michigan at Spectrum, now Corewell Health, in interventional radiology. I would say UMHS is the best decision that I ever made. It gave me opportunities that I would not have gotten anywhere else in the Caribbean or in the US, and I believe it really turned me into a perfect residency applicant.
And how do you feel today knowing that you have finally attained your dream and that you're about to start your residency?
I'm super excited that I am graduated from medical school. I'm nervous and excited to start residency. It'll definitely be a process. I got a lot of onboarding to do after this, so I'm excited to get started.
As a valedictorian of the class, one of two, what do you think about the quality of the education that you received at UMHS?
I think UMHS does a great job of providing an education that is on par or even above par to other U.S. medical schools. I would say in most of my rotations, being compared to Michigan State and other students, I was right there with them answering questions or knowing things that they did not. So I think it does a great job.
Thank you. You'll be a great doctor.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Congratulations. What is your name and where did you match?
Thank you. My name is Jonathan Cotto. I match at the University of Puerto Rico in the program of internal medicine.
Can you describe the match process to me? How supportive was UMHS with the process and how did they provide assistance and guidance?
Well, it really is starting from day one. They prepare you not only for the academic side, but you also have to know the types of tests you're preparing for, and those are really two of the most important things when you are applying the test. And then they provide you with past histories from students who also match, and tips from where they went to interview, what to do in interviews, what to don't do in interviews, and also they provide you with all the time with people that can help you through email, any doubts you have, and respond any type of inquiry you may have.
What do you consider to be the best attributes of UMHS going to school there and seeing kids?
Well, for me that's simple. It's the professors. They are with you from day one. They all they do is teach, and they are there for that reason and only that reason. They will provide you with practice questions. Just, they are very individual if they need you, if they need to be with you so you can succeed. But also in class, they are pretty detailed. They provide you with lectures. They provide you with other resources that you can supplement to the lectures so you can do well. And I gotta say, I still remember things that Dr. Nagapa and Dr. Mungli taught me. They are right there and they're never going away.
Now you're a co-valedictorian. How well did UMHS prepare you overall to be a doctor?
Well, that is for the future because I am not yet in practice, but I can tell you I have been in many rotations in Puerto Rico, in the United States. I have been alongside other colleagues from other universities, and I'm very sure that I wouldn't go any other way. I will still choose UMHS if I will go back 4 years ago.
Well, congratulations. I have no doubt you're going to be successful.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Andrew Aguinaldo, and I matched at Prime West Consortium in Anaheim, California.
Congratulations. Can you tell me about a special moment or memory about your experience at UMHS?
There's so many memories, but the most memorable that I remember is when I started medical school and my parents were standing with me as they are today, and they get to share the whole journey, and I'm just very thankful for it all.
Parents, you must be very proud. Mom, what was it like sending your son to UMHS on this island in the Caribbean?
Oh, wow. I'm speechless. I'm so excited I couldn't say anything, but it's a wonderful journey with him. He did a very good job, and his perseverance and commitment, that's what he is now.
And would you recommend, Dad, would you recommend UMHS to other parents who send their children?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think it's a very good school, and everybody will succeed on going to that school. So that's why my son succeeded.
What do you think UMHS prepared you? How well do you think UMHS prepared you to be a doctor?
UMHS gave me the confidence to believe in myself and also everyone that I work with to achieve the best versions of ourselves so that ultimately we can be there for the patients that we're going to take care of, for the people we're going to work with, and for those we get to share our care and the experiences of medicine and the healing we get to leave upon everyone.
And do you think that the education you receive is comparable to other doctors that studied in the U.S.?
UMHS gave me everything that I needed to become a physician that's going to be practicing in the United States. And not only that, have the most confidence in the world to leave an impact on everyone that I meet along the way. So thank you for that.
What do you want to say to your son today?
My son, congratulations. And with your perseverance, we are so proud of you. And I'm sure you're going to be a fantastic physician.
Thank you so much.
I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad.
I love you.
Where did you match?
My name is Kirthi Suganadevan, and I'm actually at DMC Sinai Grace in general surgery.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, you were part of the ARP program. How did that help you succeed in medical school, and how did it prepare you academically and professionally?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what the ARP program is, it's basically you get a taste of every single medical school subject before actually entering the medical school. So for me, I had been out of school for 3 years after my undergrad. I didn't really know I wanted to do medicine right away, so I took a little bit of a gap, and then I decided I wanted to do medical school. And so it really gave me a great way to get back into studying. I hadn't written a test in 3 years, so I didn't really know what to expect again or how to get back into that study mode. So ARP provided me with that time to fine-tune my study skills, get back into the groove of studying, taking exams, and it really gives you a taste of every single medical school subject, which is great. So when I actually started the medical school program, I felt a bit more confident every semester, at least the first week of every subject, so that was nice.
And if you were to speaking to a prospective student, what would you tell them about UMHS, and what guidance would you provide them?
Yeah, I'd say UMHS is a very different school. It's small classes, and it's truly a family vibe. When you're not in class one day, the professors notice, and they'll be like, hey, so where were you yesterday? Weren't feeling well? So that's a unique thing. And in terms of guidance, I'd say find a mentor. All the UMHS professors are so kind and so great, but I think the best part is finding someone, having that mentorship. That's something I didn't have in undergrad, and maybe having that mentorship, I might have gone into medical school right away, but now having that mentorship in medical school, it just made the whole process a lot more smoother, and I had someone to ask for guidance. It's a long process, and having people to support you makes all the difference.
And can you tell me about a special moment or memory about your experience at UMHS?
Ooh, that's a good question. Like making friends from all over the world, I don't even know. But I'd have to say, after I graduated, I actually had the opportunity to go back to UMHS and teach for 4 months. I taught anatomy, so going from that student to professor sort of vibe, that was probably one of my most special moments. I don't know if I'll ever have that opportunity again, but I'm so much more grateful for my professors and their patience with us, so it was great.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks.
My name's Justine Vella, and I matched at U of A in Alabama in family medicine.
Doctor, right?
Yes.
Dr. Justine Vella.
Dr. Justine Vella now. it's taking some time to get used to, but a good time.
Was where you matched your first choice?
Yes, it was. Family medicine is a field I'm really passionate about. I love the program at U of A in Alabama. Tuscaloosa is where I am. They are actually the oldest program in the United States. The founder of family medicine as a field started the program. They have a robust inpatient medicine program. They have 8 fellowship opportunities. And this year, for the first time ever, the highest score in family medicine board exams came from our school. So I'm really excited to be part of such a great program.
And what made you choose UMHS over other institutions?
For me, I do a lot better in smaller schools. I loved the faculty to student ratio. I love the approachability of the professors. I'm very inquisitive and I have a lot of questions. I'm known to have a lot of questions. And I love the fact that the faculty is just always there for you. The resources that the school provides and the opportunities were really was like UMHS was my top choice for medical school.
How well would you say UMHS prepared you to be a doctor?
I would say 100%. They did an awesome job, really. Through my board exams, through Maine, through writing step 1, step 2, and even with some support with questions with writing step 3, which I just finished and passed. And applying to residency can be such a really scary process. I really feel that the administration, the professors, the education, I never felt like when I was at larger institutions for clinical rotations that I had, like I was behind. I felt like I was completely prepared and just as good as anyone else.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Go on to be a great doctor in Alabama.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
where did you match?
Hi, my name is Paola Torres, and I matched this year, yay, at San Juan City Hospital at Pediatrics.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you describe the match process to me? How supportive was UMHS?
UMHS was very supportive. They were like all the process with us. They give us like information, and they give us like all the tools that we need to get through the process successfully. And yeah, finally I did it. I matched. So I'm super happy, and yeah, I'm so excited to go through this new step in my life.
Now, Dad, what was it like sending your child to UMHS? Would you recommend UMHS to other parents who are helping their children decide?
Definitely, yes. I think it's a very worthwhile experience for my daughter, and it will be for any one kid, right? I think it will help them to grow as a person, as a professional, and now as a doctor, right? I think I will do it again if I need to do it again.
That's great. So, how well do you think UMHS prepared you to be a doctor?
As he just say now, if I have to choose a medical school again, I will choose UMHS. It was amazing journey. Basic science, clinical science, match process, and I feel very prepared, competitive, and I'm just proud of being part of UMHS community and today be a graduate from UMHS. So definitely I will choose UMHS again.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How
Thank
you doing?
Doing good.
So,
Good to see you.
so what's the plan?
So next for me, I'm starting my neurology residency at Mayo Clinic. So
Whoa.
I'm very excited.
Whoa.
And
How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're going to pave the way. We need more people at the Mayo.
Yeah, it's a really great institution. I did my sub-I there thanks to UMHS being open to us taking away rotations wherever we want. So
I don't know if you know, my son is trying to get in for a PhD in neuroscience.
Oh, okay, yes. I worked with a couple of PhD students where I'm working on with one of them on a paper right now, actually. So
Wow, stay in touch. Let us know how things are going.
Absolutely.
Maybe open some more doors over there.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
fantastic.
That'd be great. Yeah.
You're doing great. Congratulations
Thank you.
once again.
Thank you, President.
It makes me
Appreciate
makes me very proud to be part of this, to see how great you guys have done.
Yeah.
You've done
Thank
an
you.
amazing job.
Thank you. And I'm personally very excited because this wouldn't have been possible without UMHS opening the opportunity for me to take a crack at medicine. And now I'm at my dream institution, so it's really exciting.
Oh my God. Well, be part of the alumni organization.
I will.
Get on the portal, fill out the information, let us know how you're doing. Because as I said before, so many of our graduates go on for fellowships, they become chief residents, they go into private practice. We want to know what you're doing and stay in touch. And come down for our alumni meeting in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
Our reunion.
Yeah.
It would give you a good excuse to come on down again.
It's never a bad time to go to St. Kitts.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nihal Satyadev. I matched at Mayo Clinic in neurology.
Was that your first choice?
That was my first choice.
Tell me about the match process. How did UMHS support you?
I think one of the critical things for me personally was the opportunity to do an away rotation or a sub-I in the place that I really wanted to match. So I was able to spend nearly 10 weeks at Mayo Clinic, which really allowed me an opportunity to get to know the physicians there and understand how the program operates. So I think that was the most critical opportunity for me to be able to match there ultimately.
Do you have a special moment or memory about your time at UMHS that you share?
So I think one of the things that make UMHS very special is that it really is a family. I remember during my second semester on the island, I became quite sick and ran quite a high fever and actually had to go to the hospital. And I remember that multiple of my professors constantly were checking in on me, getting my symptoms and making sure that they were also involved in my care process. And that's not really a family experience that you get at too many other places.
Well, congratulations, doctor, and go on to do great things in neurology.
Thank you, appreciate it.